especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's the man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building time. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. And how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down, and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do everything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, 'cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all, and for the truth the lies must fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the
Shlil WU-SABAT, which is greetings, Sabians of WU-SABAT. Before we start, I am Haptwy Atam Hatap, one of the many student teachers, feminines as well as masculines of the master teacher, Pana Babiananan, affectionately referred to as Baba Yanun. Pana Babiananan translates as the galactical master of heaven and earth, who incarnates in the body of His Excellency Dr. Malachi Z.K. York Okran, 33 degrees over 720 degrees. When we say 33 degrees over 720 degrees, we mean he has 360 degrees of knowledge of the physical, information, and 360 degrees of the non-physical, the etheric realm, outformation. Combine the two, you get 720 degrees. Follow? So he's here to raise us up. So we too will attain those degrees and become what we refer to as Pamun Babu, the ones of the galactical masters. Pamun Bab Tatu, we should also say, when you say Pamun Bab Tatu, you mean the feminines as well. Okay? So can we be heard on Clubhouse? Zoom? In the listening audience? I'll take the slides and say yes. All right. So before we start, this is what we'll be reading from. This is called Nupul and Yanun. This is part 2 of the class we did a couple of weeks back. So we can just try and finish off today's class. We'll be reading from this particular actual fact called Nuwapo. Okay. A lot of information we'll be reading from this.
Does it have a number, sir?
Number 6, actual fact number 6.
Actual fact number 6.
Yeah, Nuwapo. Okay. So before we start, I'd like to do a little prayer coming from Palm of Sahu the Nine, this particular scroll. Okay, this is from page 8. Pa namaz the prayer. Munwap o hayna namuz. Nawapians, let us pray. Muslafu nun. Ya ke'athir jawif ya khasat nun. Asghoynun lama anun namuz. أغفرن لما حامل عنكم ونصيل له دارعت عنكم لما عنن حجوج نصر وقاحل عنكم أخاثير شليل حياة نون. Our ancestors who are inside of our own genes, hear us when we pray. Forgive us for neglecting you all and forgetting to call you all when we needed help and ignoring you all most of our lives. Anun طالب غفر نسكم Anun ضرور لا يحنكم لا تصيون هدايا. We seek your all's forgiveness. We turn towards you all for protection and guidance. Faya Sotat Sayun O Haduinun Khalul Yawil Zamutat Wa Wakutat Asyun Shabatnun O Yasal Shlil Munwapu. So please protect and guide us during these days and times. Protect our tribe and family of Nawapians. Anun Namuz Ankum. Namus mane labab atnun o hanun tawo ankum laheng rasul o nazul yananan. We implore you all, praying from our hearts, and we thank you all for sending down and incarnating your Nun. Pa munbab wul kan ur u munzar ur lahenum javif pa shakhas laduda ghamanun anun darur laya ankum taqarir badahat. The master teacher and warner for us, inside the person born amongst us, return towards you all with praise. Otun reye, amun reye, sawub kawun sawub. Truth is truth. That's a short prayer coming from Pa Mutsahu Danai. Okay, you heard it in our own Lahaj language, Miss Batia, and we will go more into that in this class. Okay, so with that being said, no further ado, everybody put your seatbelts on. So let us begin. Wu Nupu, Wu Nu Wu. So it's called Nu Wupu, Nupu, and Yanun, part 2. So what we do, we'll quickly go over what we did last time. Okay, just a brief recap, then move forward. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so reading from start from page 1 from this particular, as we said before, warm up, artifact number 6. Let's begin. Pa munzal pa safan mayetad. Pa munzal nadar pa safan mayetad. The sacred papyrus shalil of Pa munzal nadar. The incarnated overseer Amun Nubre Akpata. Pa Hanutu Zedi. Pa Hanutu, the keep of secrets. Zedi is the sacred word of Yanun. The sacred it's got there. The sacred papyrus of the incarnated one overseer Amun Nubre Akta Melchizedek. Vipa Ranana Chilreye. Anun O Atum O Atun O Amun. By way of the names of Re, the sun. Anun, continual existence. And Atum, self-sufficient one, and Atun, the unique one, and Amun, the hidden one. Pa Daraj Shil Radatat, the scroll of eyes, Unawapo. Okay, what's being said there? But again, we've got to hear the tones. Wu-SABAT, as we said before, or we say Wu-SABAT, or Misbatia, the correct term, our language, or we hear the word Nwapui. These are tones created by one of us for all of us, because each race has their own tones, frequencies, and vibrations by which their body vibrates at. And this is our language for this day and time, what we refer to as the hereafter. From the year 2000 marks the hereafter. The prior to that, for the last 6,000 years, we was in the AD, the Adam's calendar, the AC calendar, up until the year 2000, which marks the end of the 6,000-year rule of the Adamite race. Okay. So now let's begin. So 1, Nawapo is divided up into 3 degrees: Wu Nupu and Asu Nupu and Nabu Nupu, called Wu Nawapo. We only give its true meaning from mouth to ear, for it is not for disagreeable forces to speak its hidden meaning. For by that formula the heavens will be open and many beings come. It is also written Nuwabu. Now, that's the first verse. And there's a lot of jewels that the master just written there for us. For those who have some listening ear. So it says Nuwapo. Let's ask a question. Question time now, fam. What is the difference between Wum Nawap and Nuwapo? What's the difference between Wum Nawapo and Nuwapo? Someone says to you, go ahead, Sama. Jump for the mic. By the way, don't be afraid to answer, fam. We're all fam here. Go ahead. What's the difference between WU-SABAT and NUWAPO?
WU is right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding. And the WAPO is the application of the right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding.
So what do you call Nawapians in our Lahaj?
The WAPians, we are the new WAPians practicing.
Yeah, but what do you call them in the language, Nawapians? How do you translate Nawapians into Nawapik or Mispatia? Nawapo or Mulwapo. So, and WU-NAWAP
WAPO, right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding.
okay. You're right. You're right. Anybody else? The brother's right, but we're looking for. Can anyone build on that? Let's put it that way. Can anybody build on that? It's good that you're at the front, Samantha, because you're at the back, it'd be hard to catch. But people, the brave ones always sit at the front, you know what I mean? Okay, on the Clubhouse Zoom, what's the difference between what does somebody says to you, what does WU-NAWAPO mean? Or what is WU-NAWAPO? Brother said right knowledge, right wisdom, and the right understanding. He's right. But can anybody else build on that? Zoom, Clubhouse, the chat.
It's the science of all science.
That's right. The science of all sides. What does that mean? It does say that
It's based on facts and confirmation.
you know, in the Masters, it's got here, this is verse 7. Let's jump to verse 7. It says, WU-NAWAPO is the science of sciences and the science in sciences. What does the Master mean by that particular phrase? Clubhouse, Zoom. Oh, we've got brother here. Go ahead, Samuel.
Well, if it includes all, then it must have a masculine and a feminine aspect.
Okay. We're taken by that term, the science of sciences and the science in sciences. What? Let me help you all along. When we say science, what comes to mind? Anybody? When you hear the word
Knowledge.
science, science means knowledge, but what knowledge when you talk about when you hear science?
The knowledge of all. I wouldn't know.
What science do you know?
Masculine and feminine.
Science.
The science is the breakdown, is the breaking down something to its smallest particle, the information of
Okay.
how something is made.
If this is not, please.
Science, what did I say? The science,
Yeah.
the breakdown of
Hold on, my bit.
something,
Breakdown. Yeah.
breakdown of anything. So
Okay.
science is how something works, breaking it down to its smallest particle, how it works, how it's created, and then the science in all sciences is the method and the way it functions at its optimal, at its most optimal.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. It's a bit too deep for me, but anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so if someone would you classify biology as a science? You classify biology. What other science? Can you see where we're getting at?
Yeah.
When we say the science of sciences and science in sciences, can you see the direction going up? Now, as I said, would you classify biology as a science? What other science would you classify as a science? Science. So the clue is, would biology be classified as a science? Analysis.
Chemistry, physics.
Give us your mic so the listeners can hear that. She actually hit the jackpot.
Chemistry and it's not on, but chemistry and what did I say?
Physics.
Physics.
Any more sciences that you know?
Neuroscience.
Neuroscience,
Yeah,
neuroscience. Any more sciences?
I mean,
Chemistry, biology, physics, neuroscience.
I think maths is some sort of a kind of
Science, yeah. Oh,
science.
can you see the direction we're headed at? You got
Yeah.
quantum physics.
Okay,
got
physics and all of that.
you got astrophysics, and etc.
Yes.
etc. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
So, metaphysics, all these are sciences. You see?
Yeah.
So when he says, and then he was saying that when he says WU-NAWAPO is the science of sciences and the science in sciences, all the sciences that you can think of on the planet is contained within WU-SABAT. All of them is contained in WU-SABAT, because WU-SABAT, or we could say WU-SABAT, both are synonymous, gives birth to all those sciences that we know of and gives birth to all those sciences that we are unaware of. Follow that?
Yeah.
Haven't got that? So let's continue. So NAWAP, oh sorry, we said, sorry, we haven't finished yet. What's the difference between WU-NAWAP and NAWAPO, or WU-NAWAPO and NAWAPO? It's quite simple. Guys, WU-NAWAP or WU-NAWAPO is the culture. And NAWAPO are the people, the advocates and representatives,
So was Wu the method?
the culture.
No, I know that,
Yeah,
but what would be, is
the
there a
Wu.
method or the science, obviously, but the method of getting to the science?
The method to getting in the science is the knowledge contained within WU-NAWAP. You follow? So when we say the word WU-NAWAP, we're talking about the culture of Nawapo or the Nawapians. WU-NAWAP, we say the Wu Hin, Zoroastrian, the word Wu pertains to the culture of the people of the Nawapians. WU-NAWAP is the culture. And remember that when we say culture, culture is all inclusive. Your culture is representative of who you are as a people, as a race. Salalu. Say something else as well. Yeah, so it's your means of identification. So without a culture, a people have no means of identification. Everyone get that? Because what it is, when we say all inclusive, we mean all inclusive of everything and anything that pertains to you as a shakhasum, an individual, and as a mushkhas, as the people. Okay? Everything is in your culture. And the advocates and the representatives are called munwapo, or we say nawapo, or we say WU-SABAT. The same terminology applies, the same description applies. We say musbato, the same terminology and description applies. So these are terms that we give of ourselves from ourselves. So only we hold the true meanings behind that. No one else could say, well, let me Google that, because you won't find it in Google. We are the Google. Yeah, follow? So it's very important to have an understanding of what the actual culture, the name of the culture, and who are the advocates and representatives. It's like, and as a when we say representatives, we're also making reference to being representatives of the master teacher himself, Panababienanan. Okay, so that's a little thing. So when it says Nawapo, we first have to identify what does Nawapo mean, you know. So let's continue. It's like you're talking to, let's say, a Muslim. They say to him, before you even open the book, what does the word Quran mean? And they just scratch their head, so you don't even know the meaning of your front cover of your own book. So before you even open I tested them, and they don't even know the meaning. What does the word? I didn't say the meaning of the Quran. I say to them, what does the word Quran mean? And they just say book, and I sit and will read the second chapter of the Holy Quran, the second verse, and they say no. Anyway, so that's them. So we've got to armor ourselves, you know, as and when you say advocates, that's like saying practice what you preach, you know.
Yeah.
So you can't preach one thing and doing something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you know what I'm saying anyway. Hopefully the brothers get to the mic. Go ahead.
Something is bothering my mind, and that is that can the teacher, can he embody both the male aspect and the female aspect of which we see in nature?
No. Yeah. What it is you see, it's like this, is that when you look at nature, right? Nature, or we say gender, is dual, masculine and feminine. So you have masculine, every masculine has feminine inside of him, and every feminine has a masculine inside of her. So it depends. So both of them are equally balanced, but also takes into effect, what was predominating within the mind of the mother during pregnancy. I say so that's a very important factor as well. So there are a lot of factors that are embedded within we talk about gender. Okay, so just like if you look at this from a scientific perspective, you have these two forces: the centripetal force, which is feminine, masculine, and you've got the centrifugal force, which is feminine. These are two forces, but equally balanced. For example, if you take your heart as an example, when blood goes into the heart, that's a centripetal force. When blood exits the heart, that's a centrifugal force. So both of those forces are working in synchronicity with one another. Just like the right and the left hemisphere of the brain, the right hemisphere is regarded as being feminine in polarity, and the left hemisphere is regarded as being masculine in polarity. But both of these forces are working in synchronicity with one another. Okay.
Within one individual, so we don't need somebody who is particularly male or female, because male and female contained in one. Is that what you're saying?
We have those principles, but in terms of physical as individuals, feminines are more smart than males, but the average females are more, well, scientifically speaking, females are more intelligent than males simply because of the fact of the Y chromosome in a male. The Y chromosome is a defect, lacks 2.8% less genetic material than the feminines. You follow that? And not only that, is that males are just carbon copies of the feminine, because everything in the feminine is functional, not everything in the masculine is functional. Okay, so everything came through or was birthed from the womb of the feminine forces. Everything. That's why we use the term Om. The term Om pertains to the feminine, pertains to the womb of the feminine. Because he's the word Om in the word womb anyway. You know what I mean? So, oops. I'm out of this is the mic. Let go of the mic. Let go of the mic.
To continue that topic, I was wondering, like, what's your opinion on? So, like, I was born as a woman, and I am a woman, but I don't know how to explain it. I dress more masculine, and I try to balance the both feminine and masculine energy. But what's your opinion on, like, why a woman maybe like feel more drawn to wearing masculine clothing, or presenting more masculine than presenting more feminine?
Yeah, how the master put that is that a good question as well. How the master teacher put it is that it depends what force within inside you predominates. You see, so that so it's not a bad thing. That is just how nature is. You see, that's just how nature is. You see, you do have, as we said before, we have feminines who have a propensity to gravitate towards the masculine side of them, and you have masculines who has a tendency to gravitate to the feminine side of them. You see, so that is just the works of natural nature.
Well, I'd say that, like, I feel more gravitated towards my feminine. However, it's just in the way that I dress that I feel more gravitated towards being masculine. Like, I know I'm a woman and I love being a woman and I'm very feminine, but I just don't dress feminine. I like to dress masculine.
Okay, so the next question we will ask is, how should a masculine dress, or how should a feminine dress? You see, because in our culture, in ancient Egypt, we wore garbs. We wore garbs, you see. And that's also mentioned in the Bible, when Adam and Eve saw fig leaf together, and God said, let's put cloaks of skin on them. A cloak is not a dress. So he didn't say, I'll give the woman a dress, I give Adam some slacks and what. No, cloaks is a cloak. The long garbs. That's how we wore. This is how we dressed. You see, So again, that goes back to our culture. You see, how we are dressing, how we dress. We dress according to someone else's culture. You see, in our culture, we dress a specific way. And how we dress as most part as the masculine, you see how we dress. This is representative of our culture. If you look at how a Japanese dress or Oriental dress, the way the Kung Fu thing, that is represent. Or look at the Pakistani, or all these races. The Bengalis dress a certain way. Those from Pakistan dress a certain way. The Hindu, the Buddha. Everybody's got a particular dress that is representative of their culture. You see, obviously you can't wear priestly robes if you're on a basketball court. So so you have to dress appropriately. But certain women's back in the days when we was Muslim and Ansar, we dressed a certain way. Or the white garbs. We dressed a certain way. So throughout our transition on this long journey on a short path, the master has always introduced different attires for the masculines and feminines to wear, so people can identify and say, "Oh, who are these people?" Because they don't dress like the norm. You see, so your culture is again, your dress is an identification of your culture. Okay, so you always go back to culture. Okay, so the master dress really is dress. It doesn't tell people how to dress or what dress. He just says dress appropriately. That's how he says it. Okay, it's about this different mic.
So, in the Bible, I can't remember which chapter, I can't remember which book it is or chapter or verse. But I remember reading where it states, a woman shouldn't dress like a man, and a man shouldn't dress like a woman.
Yeah.
What's your understanding about that?
But let's try and find it. We'll try and find it. We'll try and find it in here. Can't really. Yeah, I can't really find it at the present moment. Yeah, but I hear that. So people should be, what they're basically saying is basically dress appropriately according to your gender. That's what it's basically said. Yeah, so that's it really in a nutshell. See, so okay. Is that all? The WAPO is divided. Okay, so we talked about that. Sorry, any questions on Zoom or Clubhouse? Have you got here? T hen tenses, the WAPO represents the ultimate truth. I'm sure that's right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This young lady
hold on.
managed to get a book which I thought I would like to have read or like to read eventually. It says The Divine Feminine. But was it a woman who wrote it or was it a man who wrote it?
Oh, that's from the master teacher. Is that the Lotus Scroll?
No, it's the Sacred Feminine.
Sacred Feminine.
The
sorry.
Gospel of the Sacred.
Oh yeah. That's that's
The Lotus.
the master read
It's
it.
a male that wrote it.
The
Yeah.
master, yeah.
How could a male write something about the Divine Feminine?
Yeah,
Because-
he's the master, isn't it? You know he. But so that's
You mean he's equally masculine and feminine or
Yeah.
what?
yeah,
He's
equally,
masculine.
yeah. That particular scroll was actually written for the feminines, for masculines to read as well. Remember that the master really won't know what is actually a feminine doctrine anyway. See, but
It was taught to the teacher from the feminine elders or
no, the master remember he Dr. Malachi Ziyok, he has been downloaded with 76 trillion years of knowledge.
which has a feminine and a masculine aspect.
That's right. In saying that though, the feminines in time to come, you read that particular scroll, he does give mention that the feminines will have their sacred orders, and he will also, I don't know who's going to initiate the feminines in their orders. He doesn't say that in there, but the masculines will have their sacred orders, and he would initiate them in those sacred orders. Okay.
Okay. That
So
makes
get
sense.
that scroll, and you will read a bit more. Go ahead, Samantha.
Yeah, after this one.
So I'm looking at this here and it says our savior is here. So I'm just wondering who this man is here.
But yeah, that's the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, or Hana Babyananand, who incarnates into the body of His Excellency, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York. Yeah, that's who he is. That's Hana Babyananand.
Have they ever incarnated into a woman?
The master's going off a tape, he says that, sorry, yeah, they have. Yeah. You talking about in the past?
Yeah, in the past.
Yeah. There have been many feminines who have incarnated, deities have incarnated into other feminines. Yes, there have been many. Yeah. They have their own orders, and those who get initiated into their orders become, or like that particular being, you might have someone who, as the deity Tefnut or Bastard. So you do have feminines, or Hatat Harata, you do have feminines, the higher, the Nadar, the overseers, who incarnate into these females on the planet Earth. And that's going to happen again.
Oh, okay. So do you have like a name for any of the women who like were born on Earth, who were incarnations of our savior?
Oh, yeah, there was, I can't remember the sister's name, but there was a sister who said that the deity Bastard incarnated into her. I can't remember her name is, but the deity Bastard incarnated into her. That's a few years back, or back in the 90s.
Okay, last question. So how do you know if you're an incarnation of a deity?
That's a good question. The thing is that you will need to ask the master that. He's the only one who could give you that answer, you see. But what happens is though that for that type of incarnation to take place, an initiation needs to occur. You see, so not just that you come that, so your initiation would have to occur, and the beings would incarnate into that individual or individuals, masculine or feminine. But the master teacher, he had to go through an initiation for Yanun to incarnate into him. However, before that could happen, he needed to have certain genetic alterations and manipulations done within his body as well. For example, the reinsertion of a gland referred to as the barothary gland. He needed that gland in order for the body to hold the vast amounts of 76 trillion years of knowledge. Is a lot of knowledge. So he needed to be calibrated, and that particular gland, the barothary gland, had to be inserted, and his whole body had to be recalibrated so he can withhold that amount of knowledge. You see, so there's a lot involved. You see, there are people walking the planet Earth that do have, they refer to themselves as channels. You might have heard this word, channels, on YouTube. Kakusu, males and females, they do have beings that they say non-physical beings that incarnate into them. It's worth listening to them. There's a lady called Esther Hicks, he's one of them. Another guy called Bashir, he's one of them. You listen to them, but none of them are likened unto the master. You know, the master is the highest. The master is the highest. And if you only but knew, go ahead.
According to my name, I'm like an incarnation of one of my ancestors. Because Babatunde means the return of the father, literally translated.
Yeah.
But what it does mean, it means that when a male person in my family died on my father's side, then I'm the next one born. So I'm somehow, I don't know how to understand it, but I'm like a reincarnation of that person.
Okay, what it is that what we have to acknowledge is that within each individual, we have the DNA of our mother and father going back 4 generations. When we say going back 4 generations, we talk about the spirit forces. The strongest are going back 4 generations. So you have that also influencing us as well. So within the from the male, the DNA from the father is from the cellular DNA, not the mitochondrial DNA. Because remember, within each cell, there are 2 DNAs. There's the DNA of the cell, the cellular DNA, and there's the DNA of the mitochondria. They're also not referred to as extra chromosomal DNA or mitochondrial DNA. The mitochondrial DNA is transferable only from the female,
Yeah.
never from the male. Because within the sperm, the sperm has 3 parts. You have the head, the middle, and the tail. The mitochondria in the sperm is in the middle section of the sperm. The cellular DNA is in the head of the sperm. So when the sperm fertilizes the egg, the middle section and the tail disintegrates, and it's only the cellular DNA of the father that inherits or goes within the egg of the ovum. You follow? So when a female looks like her father, that's because of the DNA that was once in the sperm. You get that? But the mitochondrial DNA that a boy or girl inherits, that's coming from the mother. The mitochondrial DNA is only transferable by way of the female. Okay. You see, so when we talk about the science of science, now you can understand that we should study about science. Okay. The master said that not only we should study about science, but we also should study about the human body from head down to toe. And the master also specifically said we should study about quantum physics as well, because quantum physics is spirituality explained from a scientific perspective. A lot of things will be made clearer if we study quantum physics. Okay, go ahead.
My question is, from what the sisters asked about the human deities, I was reading in a group, it was talking about, someone mentioned about how the being Yanun does not incarnate without a Sastat Bastat.
I've never heard of that before.
Because she then went on to explain that, this is what she said, I'm reading off what she said. At the time, it was Elizabeth Westbrook,
That's right, yeah.
known as Nefu, who was named as Basastat by Baba.
That's right.
He said Basastat incarnated Nefu. She was made into the first female pharaoh in our tribe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the sister I mentioned that. That's the that's the one.
Oh, you spoke of earlier.
Yeah, I couldn't remember her name, but yeah, Nefu, yeah. They call her the messenger at the time. Yeah, so there's a lot behind that. But anyway, Samantha, give the young sister. Oh, do you want to say something? Go ahead.
The question I was going to ask is, how many wives are you allowed in our culture?
Oh,
So,
the master said one.
just one.
Yeah, but he said that is how he dropped it was that in order to have more than one wife, there's got to be a reason for that. But you could be of a certain age, be like an elder, and you can't just have one wife because the doctrine says in Carteret it says you have up to 4 wives like Muhammad, or Muhammad had 13, but anyway, you have up to 4 wives, but you could have a reason why you want an additional wife, and you got to consult wife number 1 and get her approval before you even decide. But the thing is also is that because of how we've been, especially feminized, how they've been brought up in the Western world, you see, they have a certain mindset different from, say, the sisters in Africa, or like a Muslim or whatever. She's have a different mindset because of how they've been brought up here in the West. So we have to take that into consideration as well. So a lot of things to be taken into consideration, but the master did say that when you become an elder, you are entitled to have more than wife, but not just like I'm older now, bam, and I get some more. Get some more skirt. No.
If it's financially, if you take care of them.
Yeah, equally. You know what I mean? And let's say you want another wife, and she got about 4 or 5 kids, right? You have to look after them as well. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
It doesn't work the other way around, does it? A woman can have many
I haven't.
partners.
No, it might be in the book there, but in the Lotus book, but I need to. The sister feels free, you can ask her. Guys,
But like, how would you have more than one wife? Like, how do you develop a deep connection with more than one woman without it becoming like, I don't know, I feel like at least one of your wives, you're not gonna have as deep of a connection with as towards the others. And if there's more than one person in the relationship, doesn't that like, I don't know how to explain it about it coming out a bit like, you know.
Who's contention?
Yeah, I just feel like when deep connection with somebody, it's sacred, so it should just be just you two involved in the situation. When you start adding in other people, doesn't that become like, oh, like that one person just wasn't enough for you? I don't know.
Yeah, that's why we said that if a man wants to take another wife, he's got to consult wife number one, and you've got to have good reason for wanting to have another wife.
Sick and the older ones age or the young ones take care, but then both will look after the younger kids. So in African culture, I've seen.
We'll take the mic.
In African culture, there's reasons for it. In WU-SABAT, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
It would be the same principles. It's just to make sure that as a man, you can take care of your responsibilities and do it honestly and fair. Yes.
Yeah, rather than have a side chick, you know. But the thing again, though, is it's a good point you brought up, because again, it goes back to how we've been conditioned in the Western world. They call it adultery. A man have more than one wife, you know. But the politicians, right? You know, you heard about the scandal after they retired. So and so had so and so mistress, and from the royal family all the way down, from the top of the pyramid all the way down to all at it, you know. And yes. Anyway, they have to go to E Island and do the thing in it. You know what I mean? So okay, let's continue reading, right? Okay, so hey, you know what this is like last time? We never got past verse number 1. Oh, this time, because there's a lot involved in this class. Okay, so Nawapo is divided up into 3 degrees: Wonupo, Asnupo, and Nabonupo. I'm going to stop there, called Wunawapo. I'm going to stop there and read from the Amore Institute and give you a bigger build on this. It goes on to say, this particular scroll here, Amore Institute, and it says, we must teach ourselves our own cultures, costume, way of life, not alien religion or religions. A person, place, or thing is alien to us Nawapians when it is not of and for us by our very nature. We should not teach our own seeds, alien ways, alien gods, alien religions, alien languages, histories, before we teach and instill in them our 4 principles. It says a lot in here. Again, number 3 says that we should not teach our own seeds, our children, alien ways, alien gods, alien religions, alien languages, histories, before we teach and instill in them our 4 principles. 1. Wunawapo onundraye. 2. Wunupu otumbraye. 3. Asonupu otundraye. 4. Nabonupu omundraye. So you've got here 4 degrees or 4 principles, which is rooted in Ma'at, our way of life. Now, you see how it's got here onundraye, Otumraye, Otunraye, and Amunraye. So this ties in to the 4 Riskians: Razun, Zakun, Zanun, and Yanun. Okay, so okay, and this is the next part now. 4. Nature of whoever or whatever created it. If we Nawabians, Africans, we say Africans, The proper term we use now is because the word Africa or Africans means from the word Ifrekia, the Arabic word, which means to divide and separate. The word we use is Afaf Re Ka'a, those who are of the Ka'a spirit of Re, the sun. So when we say Afaf Re Ka'a, it means those who are of the spirit of the sun. And when we say the sun, we're talking about the ether, the etheric sun, or the rays that emanate from the physical sun. Those rays, those life-giving forces, we are of that and by that. Okay, so that's why we call ourselves Afaf Re Ka'a. Okay. Nature of whatever or whoever created it. If we Nawabians, Africans, are and were receiving education which has not been created by us, our own race of dark-skinned, woolly-haired persons, while and only while that person of our kind is in her or his right mind using sound right reasoning. If not, then education is poison to your mind, body, and soul, and it is alien. That means what the master's saying here is that if we construct our own educational system, and the teachers has to be in their right state of mind, and they've got to have sound right reasoning, which is basically the science of WU-SABAT or WU-SABAT. Okay, otherwise it is alien. What they be teaching is alien, not of us and from us. There's nothing wrong in saying that you can't learn from anybody and everybody. You can, but first learn about yourself from amongst yourselves. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Well, let's move on. What it will do when we learn alien ways, it will destroy our true African identity and upright way of life. Specifically, education is and should be the facts, not faith, but right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding as only found in one's own culture, ours being Nwapo. Right. Oh, let me say something here now. I don't know, I said it last time. The master said, I incarnated to give you 9 worthy quests. What, where, when, how, why, what, where, when, why, how, who, proof, confirm, reveal. The first 6 are questions. What, where, when, why, how, who, and the last 3 are proof, prove it. Cannot be confirmed, and reveal. Proof, confirm, reveal. These 9 worthy quests, you hear the word quest, and from there you get the word questions. These are questions that we should ask anybody and everybody who wants to impart what they regard as the truth. And if they cannot prove it, if it cannot be confirmed, if they cannot reveal it, then guess what? It's alien. Thus, we don't want it. Deal only with the facts. Then people say, so how do you know what you've been taught is the truth? Because they always come out with that statement, don't they? But they never question what they've been taught at school or in the mosque, in the church or the synagogue. So we say, that's a simple question. How do you know what you've been taught is the truth? Moses said it like this: experience, evidence, and reason. We cannot always use the experience criteria, but we can use evidence, means prove it, we can prove it. Experience, evidence, and reason. You got to reason the things out. And that reasoning we call sound right reasoning, the highest form of mental processing, circular mental processing as opposed to thinking, which is square mental processing. You follow that? I wrote something here. Here it is. I can't remember. I'm trying to find the scroll, but I wrote this down. But anyway, it says this: 9 ether. We know that 9 ether is the combination of all existing chemicals, gases, formulas of natural nature. You know, we still have verse 2 here, haven't we? But anyway, it's got here, 9 ether produces 9 reason. We said 9 reason is the highest form of mental processing, which in turn produces 9 knowledge. This knowledge that we hear right now, the Master's given us, it produces 9 mind power, which is a prerequisite to Nagara Nado, Negroid mental and physical liberation from opposing forces of nature. Nothing's right unless the mind is right. And the mind can never be right unless it has accepted right knowledge. And we know that when we say right knowledge, a lot of, let's say from the diaspora, they do teach right knowledge, but we want 9 knowledge, want the whole 9s. Okay. The difference between facts and fiction is that facts are like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. They fit neatly together. With fiction or belief and faith and hopes, the pieces of puzzle don't fit in. You have to get a hammer, a mallet to kind of drop it, kind of bang it in and hope that it fits. We don't deal in hope. I mean, we just taught you about the 9 worthy quests in it. So okay, so that's that. Oh, music anymore, so let's put this to one side. Right, let's continue reading. And this is just verse 1. There's a lot of jewels in here. Nawapo, I have to read it again for reinforcement purposes. Okay, Nawapo is divided up into 3 degrees, Wumnopa and Asnopa and Nabonopa, called Wumnawapo. We just read that just now. The only gives its true meaning from mouth to ear. It is not for evil, disagreeable forces to speak its hidden meaning, for by that formula the heavens will be open and many beings come. It is also written Nawapo. What the master teaches, let me ask you this question. When it says here, it's not for evil, disagreeable forces to speak its hidden. I'll read that first. Sorry, the verse up, the sentence up. We only give its true meaning from mouth to ear. That makes sense, doesn't it? You'll get that. We only give its true meaning, the true meaning of Wuno up, what it really means from mouth to ear. It is not. It's not for evil, disagreeable forces to speak its hidden meaning. For by that formula, the heavens will be open and many beings come. What does Parnabab Yananan mean by that? Listen, audience.
Does he mean that?
It's good to make an attempt, you know, because you may get it right.
Does he mean that negative or disagreeable forces speaking the language may be able to use the power of the language for their own beings, like to bring their own beings on the power of WU-SABAT?
Did you hear this? It's a good point you made.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that where the masters in AGX Maths, you know, when you write letters,
Yeah.
do you know that the prison wardens, they read the letters and then they can speak better than Nawapi than me and you put together? They read them, of course, they, you know, they Rahman, yeah, so.
It's against us, basically, but the disagreeable forces can use it against us or for our great good.
If they know its hidden meaning, but he is also saying something here, which is
There is a hidden meaning.
there's a hidden meaning towards WU-SABAT, and we think we're also inclusive of WU-SABAT, and it is the keys to opening the vortex. See, there's a formula, and the formula is within the tones, frequencies, and vibrations. You see, because the mere reading of WU-SABAT, of the doctrine, just the mere reading is to recalibrate your mind. And when you learn the language, the lahaj, when you learn the language, it takes things to a whole new level, and you start activate dormant centers in the brain, especially the speech centers of the brain. They become reactivated by way of the language. And you've got certain genes within the cells, within the DNA, is also activated by the language, Misbatil, or we say Nawapui or Nawapik. See, so the language is very, very important. The English language is, in actuality, is one of the worst language.
Yeah.
The English language is the worst language on the planet. And when you, as we said it many times, when you watch them horror movies or them ghost movies or whatever, them movies, the witch movies, they don't speak when they want to conjure up the devil or whatever the force is. You watch in them movies, they all speak in Latin. You know what I mean, you watch in certain I think it's on dollar bill, Novus, Nurum, blah blah blah. It's always, how come it's always in Latin? And they say Latin is a dead language. For who? Is it a dead language for the dead? To conjure up the dead? You know what I mean? But the one without any tones, frequencies, and vibrations is the English language, the worst one. You know what I mean? However, with the master, because of how his voice is like a tuning fork. You listen to his voice and things happen. You know, it's something in his voice that wakes people up. You know.
This might be a silly question. Sorry. You say Runawat and then Miss Batian and WU-SABAT. My family might be going blank. The difference, or is it like an old word, Runawat, and then Miss Bat is the new, or is it completely different? Is it the different star systems that Runawat might be from Orion and I don't know.
Right. When you look at, I've got the score here, but when you look at the word Nuwapo or Nawabu, if you look at the vowel, the three-part verbs, is come from the word noob. The word noob means inclining to black or before the light. When you look at the word Sabat is Sabt, and you will find the word Sabat in Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. If you could read that, please. Can you get that to my Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. You see something very interesting here. Okay. It's good you said that as well. We haven't even talked about Nupu yet.
Yeah, you mentioned when you were saying the three, you said Nupu, but I wasn't sure if you say Nupu with a P or B.
Oh, P, Nupu.
Okay.
Yeah. I said, brothers, is that the King James Version? Well, God, Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Say something very interesting here.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them.
Right, that's it. Right.
Yes. Sure.
Do you have the concordance for the word host in there? Can you pull that up? The Hebrew concordance. You won't see it in the English, but this is how we study. Can you pull the concordance for the word host? Yeah. You see something very interesting, and that will tie in to Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. We said this many times, and we've been up to date to 2026. Can you find it?
What was it called, sorry?
I can't really find it. All I can see, it says in Hebrew, host generally refers to a large multitude or
That's right.
group of heavenly, earthly beings.
The word, the operative word is army. So read that verse again and put the word army in.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the army of them.
Okay, and the word for army we said is
Host.
and this, the Greek, the Hebrew word for host is in Hebrew. What word have they got there?
Host generally refers to
No, the Hebrew word.
the Hebrew words.
Can you pull it up?
Tazava.
Tasaba. Is it tasaba? Or you hear the word saba? The word there is a to in the tasaba or saba. In the it'd be saba. That's how you pronounce it. Or Sabaeans or Sabians. Keep that in mind. It means the word saba or tasaba means army. Okay, the word the whole means army. Go to Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. You can see something, you can tie this in.
Revelation 12, chapter 11.
Chapter 12, verse 7, that's it.
Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back.
That's it. So it says Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels. So a war was taking place in heaven, wasn't it? According to that, it said Michael, there's war in the heavens, in the Orion skies. There's war taking place. Michael and his angels. The word for angels in the Greek is angelos, or messengers. But if there's a war taking place, that word angels would be Michael and his army. Okay, we said the word army is Tsaba or Saba. Michael and his Sabians. There's war in the Orion skies. Michael and his Sabians fought against the dragons and his angels, or his messengers. There's a differentiation between Michael and his angels, or his Sabians, those of the green light, fighting those of the amber light. Okay. So that word Sabians there, you can see when it says, you have to see the word host, see the word army. The keys to unlocking the spell is in the language. Okay. Once you know the language, then things become much clearer, And that, as they say, it's a saying, the truth is so clear, it's invisible. Okay? So let's continue reading, okay? So we're saying here that it's not for evil disagreeable forces to speak its hidden meaning, for by that formula, the heavens will be open. By knowing the formula, knowing the formula, it will give you the keys to open the vortex. And when we say, it says here, it's not for evil, disagreeable force to speak its hidden meaning. The one who holds the keys is the master teacher, known to us as the word he uses, Amun Nabab Ray Akh Akpata. You heard that? Amun Nabab Ray Akh Akpata, or Amun Nubi Ra Akpata. Amun Nubi Ra, let's say it like this. Amun Nubi Ra Akpata means, translates as the faithful informer, soul of the Pataites. When we say Pataites, what we are saying is this is one of the original names given to woolly-headed people when they first introduced into the waters of the planet, known as Pataites, or Patakind, or Patakindoid race, or Hydro-Pygmies or Hydro-Pataites. When you say hydro, what comes to mind? Water. So there were these beings from the deity Ptah, from Orion and Sirius, goes back to the war in the heavens again. From Orion and Sirius, from the deity Ptah, came into this planet. Ptah Nun, one of the ancient names for the planet Earth, came into the planet Earth and came into the waters, and those beings from millions of years became known as the Hydro-Pygmies or the Hydro-Pataites or the Patakindoid race. Okay, one of 9 races during that takes it to a whole new cycle. Okay, and then we had different names for us. One name is Ethiopian, and the term Ethiopian is actually a very positive descriptive term for us. Does anybody know what the word Ethiopian means, or Ethiopia? Does anybody know what it means?
Well, translation I had was burnt faces or something like
And
that.
somebody, okay,
Ethios, meaning burnt faces, I think it is.
I know Egyptos means burnt faces. You don't get that mixed up with that, or the Egyptians from the Greek Egyptos, Aegyptos means burnt faces. You get that mixed up? Anybody
I'm
can?
not sure. I'm not sure.
Can anybody Google the word Ethiopian and Ethiopia to find out what that means? So that's what it means in Miss Patil.
There's no place sunburnt face. Ethiopia is the name derived from the ancient Greek, frequently interpreted as burnt face or sunburnt face.
That can't really pertain to us because we were burnt anyway. Or sunburnt. Can somebody Google the word utopia?
Oh, it says the name derived from the Greek word Ethiopia,
Yeah.
which would have been Ethiopia.
Okay. Somebody Google the word utopia. You can see something very interesting. See, look, words like this mean a bit. This is how we study. Google, what does the word utopia mean? Utopia. What does that really mean?
Peace.
Sorry?
Does it mean peace?
Peace. None quite a bit off the mark.
Ethiopia derived from Greek, ill, good, topos, place, means the good place.
Good. Utopia. Utopia basically means the most what can we use?
I found it, Zamal.
Go ahead, Samantha.
Okay. It says utopia is an imagined community of society that possesses highly desirable or nearly perfect qualities for its citizens.
Say that again, Samantha. You got it here on the nails. Say that again.
Sorry about that. Utopia is an imagined community or society that possesses highly desirable or nearly perfect qualities for its citizens.
Head up.
That's
Never.
it.
Say that again, please, Samantha. Someone brother said he never
Sure,
caught
no
that.
problem. Okay. A utopia is an imagined community or society that possesses highly desirable or nearly perfect qualities for its citizens. So it's kind of like an elite place.
So would that make the citizens elite also?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Would that make the citizens of that place of Utopia elite?
Exactly, yes.
Did you say that's representative of 9 ether beings?
Yes.
You think the word Ethiopia or Ethiopia, do you think that'd be a good term to describe the Negro race? Based upon what you just read. Oh, I think she's gone.
Are you?
Well, was reading some of it too. So there's another part that says, coined by Sir Thomas More in 1516, the term is a pun based on Greek roots, meaning both good place, utopia, and no place, utopia, highlighting that such a perfect state is impossible to realize.
They would say that, wouldn't they? So,
They just don't want us to vote
then,
too
but
much.
Samantha, can you please read that little section again, please, for us?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to read it all together.
Go ahead, yeah.
A utopia is an imagined community or society that possesses highly desirable or nearly perfect qualities for its citizens.
Here it is.
Coined by Sir Thomas More in 1516, the term is a pun based on Greek roots, meaning both good place, utopia, and no place, utopia, highlighting that such a perfect state is impossible to realize. And I'm looking at the part where it says that it was coined by Sir Thomas More, that, he's saying it's impossible to realize, but it's impossible because he's looking at it in the human form, not the, ninth ether energy form. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're right. He's looking at it from his eyes. And his perspective, that such a place cannot exist. It's a bit like watching Black Panther, isn't it? They are highly technologically advanced, an advanced race of people and land or culture, highly advanced. I call it ether utopia, and the citizens were called ether utopians.
So are you saying that the word utopia relates to the word Ethiopia?
Yeah.
It's in there phonetically. That is the trick and the trap of words. You can hear it phonetically. They're actually praising us.
Inadvertently, even.
Huh?
Inadvertently.
Inadvertently, they're praising. They've given us the highest form of accolade that one can receive. Get that?
I'm not really catching on. So are you saying that like that's how Ethiopia used to be?
Yeah, that's a good question. When we use the word Ethiopia, we just allocate to that small part of land in West Africa. But the whole land of Africa Going over to the Americas, that was our land before there was a split, before the continental drift. That was all our land.
Of Ethiopia.
One of the many names that that you can use that term utopia for that land, for that region.
So do you think that we will end up having like a utopia
Once again,
society again?
we would have that once again. There was a point in time because there's we have cycles upon cycles upon cycles. Just like how on the planet we have the 4 seasons, they also have that universally as well. We have what we call the revolutionary cycle, which we're in right now. We have the origination cycle, de-origination cycle, and the evolutionary cycle. So from south to west, from south to east, that is called the revolutionary cycle, because the cycle moves counterclockwise from east to north. That's the revolutionary cycle. From north to west, that's the that's wrong. From south to east is the revolutionary cycle. From south to east, the revolutionary cycle. From east to north is the origination cycle. From north to west is the de-origination cycle. And from west to south on that cycle, that's called the evolutionary cycle. So on the right-hand side of the circle of space, we call it the circle of space and matter at time, one complete revolution is 72 million years. Yeah. In galactical time, it's like a blink of an eye. So on the top half of the of that cycle, from in the origination cycle, there's no death. Death didn't exist when the Earth was in its primordial state. This thing called death didn't exist. Existence only came during the evolutionary cycle. From that point down is when death existed. There are no predators on the planet. Go ahead.
I saw, sorry, it's probably not going to take you too far off, but I need to find the scroll. I saw a scroll say that Atum and Lilith made Adam.
Okay.
I can't remember what scroll I saw it in, but is there any guidance as to where I might find it? Or?
Yeah, what comes to mind is an old scroll that was put out called The Right Knowledge. Called Right Knowledge. You'll find it in there.
No, okay.
That's the one that comes to mind. Okay. Okay.
Excuse me, Zamal.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I kind of just got a glitch on my computer. Could I read something else in regards to utopia?
Oh, go ahead, Samantha.
Yeah, okay. So it says the key characteristics and usage examples. Idolized society. It represents an often unattainable vision of perfection in social, legal, and political systems. And technological future focus. It often appears as a hypothetical, sorry,
You did good.
future. Thank you. Future where technology solves all human problems. So that's very interesting. I looked at this and I said, oh, I'm sorry, in political ideology, it is used to describe theoretical systems intended to create perfect equality, often used as a guide for social improvement. And it's so interesting because the common synonyms, it's paradise, heaven, nirvana, Shangri-La, Eden, Wonderland.
Right.
That's
So
interesting. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
thanks, Samantha, for that. So are they trying to create that type of utopian society by using AI?
Possibly, but you said earlier ether utopia, and since you said it, I'm kind of not in the room because you even when you're talking about the Sir Thomas and he's speaking about it's impossible for us. In the description, it says it's impossible for us because we couldn't have no unemployment, no political wars, and all of that stuff, and that would be a utopia. So then, would it be Ethiopia? The land itself is a perfect condition for us to have a utopia etherically. Is that the land of milk and honey?
Yeah. When you say etherically, that's a good point you made there, because as above, so below, you see. So the same way how you could pull those ethers down, because we say nine, what do we say here? We say 9 ether produces 9 reason, which in turn produces 9 knowledge, which produces 9 mind power. Meaning that once the nothing is right unless the mind is right, and the mind can never be right unless you accepted right knowledge. So once you've got 9 knowledge in your head,
You're in utopia.
you are in utopia. Anything and everything that you could imagine to do, you'll be able to do.
Could you repeat that, please?
Okay.
As in, right, based on your knowledge,
That's
the
it.
right mind, the right knowledge.
Yeah. Okay, that Sister's amount said about having that utopia on the etheric level. Then we went on to say, well, there's a say that goes as above, so below. What happens in the etheric realm also happens in the physical realm. So being that you have a 9 mind, or as a 9 ether being having a 9 mind power, what you have the ability and capability to produce those thoughts into your mind and execute those thoughts physically. So the same way how you can have a utopia in the higher abode, you can translate that down into the physical abode, meaning that you can have a land or a culture that is of the highest quality attainable.
Well, that's why they want us to think it's impossible, so we don't
Yeah.
work towards it. And then the
Yeah.
food and everything in our atmosphere stops us from rising therapy that high. So
Yeah, it's good.
How do you get others to get on board with this? So,
Yeah.
so you can have it just by yourself.
No. What it is that is you need. It's got here 9 ether produces 9 reason. 9 ether is a force that's with. Oh, let's say ether is a force that's within the atmosphere. It's a force that's not only within the atmosphere but outside of the planet galactically. So once those forces interpenetrate the planet, you will start breathing in these forces, and these forces will activate your brain cells. And by your brain, when I say activate, when I use the word breathing in, as you're breathing in these 9 etheric forces, the temperatures in your brain will start to rise up. It will start to heat. And as the neurons are heating, the communication between one neuron and another starts to become enhanced. And you start to create more neurons or more synapses. So because of that, your actions will be different than somebody who is in a dead mind state. This is what WU-SABAT is all about. Let me read something. No, it is both a state. First, it's a state of mind.
then you can create the life.
Yeah. First is a state of mind. And then wherever the mind goes, the body will follow. So that's what's happened to us as a race of people, or let's say people worldwide, but more specifically the Nagaranado, the Negro race. Enforce the spell of sleep on the people, mental spell. Once you got them mentally, they are on automatic pilot. So all you could do, so they will work within the parameters that you construct for them. You know what I mean? Anyone gets out of line, this is what they do. Like say the master as an example. Oh, you want to wake up your people from the spell of sleep? That can be your worst nightmare. You know what I mean? Because now you become what they refer to as a threat to national securities. That's what they do. All the master's predecessors, they saw, oh, these people, this individual or individuals, they want to wake up their people from the spell of sleep. So that we're gonna make sure that it becomes their worst nightmare. So if you dare to wake up your people from the spell of sleep, you're not gonna have it. So they do this either one or two things to assassinate you by way of your physical body or by way of your character. That is the methodology that they utilize. Okay.
Yeah.
But to keep you in order, we can give you religion. Hear this now. If religion is the end all and be all, the panacea for our upliftment, the master wouldn't have incarnated. We won't be having this class today. We've been praising any and everybody. The reason why the master teacher has incarnated is to let us know that this is not for you and it's not by you. Thus, we don't need it. In order for us to regain that state of utopia, ether utopia, this is what we need. Right knowledge, the right wisdom, and the right understanding, and to gravitate to a right overstanding or to sound right reasoning. So when we say a right understanding, it means we're standing looking up because the knowledge is way above us. Overstanding is we're standing looking down because we are over that. We have an overstanding because we are receiving outformation. WU-SABAT. Hang on, I want to read something here. Okay, let's read. Well, let's go. No, verse 2 now. After all that, no, over hour and a half. Let's go. Any questions thus far? I've got is that Dalish? You want to say something about that?
Okay, yes. So it's pertaining to what you just said, because as I'm reading this, and they see the human mind, which is the person Sir Thomas More used the word imagined, use the word impossible, and it's kind of like those things are not impossible for us as Nuwapians in WU-SABAT, because us being of nine ether, when we come together in unity, we are able to attain this.
That's right. That's right. Anything and everything that you imagine to do, you will be able to do. No limitations. And since you're on that, hear this now. It is you, the feminines, who are bringing that state. You know what I mean? It's true. It's true. Okay. Let's read verse 2. Yet, here for Nawapians, I will speak on it. It's pronounced Nuwapu or Nuwupu. It stands for the right knowledge, the right wisdom, and the right understanding. The key to transform information into outformation. Meaning, information is matter and outformation is energy. So Wu-Nawap will transform using the science of Hui, Hika, and Sia. Tell you that breakdown in a minute. Using the science of Hui, Hika, and Sia will transform matter into energy and energy into matter, or information, matter, into outformation, energy, and back. Matter, energy, energy, matter. You get that?
You see that versus Hika here.
Hui, Hika, and Sia. Okay, let's read. You have to jump to another scroll now, the black book. And if you go to page.
Sorry, before you move forward, could you give us an example of doing that?
Yeah.
Turning matter into energy and energy into matter.
Yeah, I'll give you an example now. I'm gonna give you the breakdown now. Right.
This is Black Book, yeah?
Yeah, Black Book.
What page?
I'm reading from page. Oh, let's start from page 114. Right. Matter, energy, matter. So keep that in mind. And let's read this. It's got here. Question: who or what is who? Verse 296, page 114, 296. In Egypt, he, which is who or whoa, was considered the personification of utterance with which the creator Ptah, who was regarded as the creator of the physical world and deity of technology, done its work. And this deity Ptah is very significant because he had a, do you know, I see his name is, here it is. Do you know that in the Quran, the first chapter is called Surah Al-Fatiha, and they call that the opening. That word Fatiha, so it's actually come from the word Ptah, the opener. In Genesis chapter 10, verse 13, you can you get that Genesis chapter 10, verse 13? Let's read that, please. Yeah, we have to break this down, fam. This is how we study. You've got to tie it all in. Okay.
Genesis 10, chapter 18.
Yeah, 10, verse 13, yeah. Tell it.
Verse 13. And Mizraim beget Lubin and Anamim and Lehabim and Nephatuhim.
Stop there. That word nef to him it's actually napata or napata. Heard of Naphtaliite land in past Aswan land area called Naphtaliite or Napata. That word Napata is pata again. And if you went to the concordance for Naftuim, the im means it's a pluralization of a tribe of people. These are your Napatians or your Pataites. See, so this deity Ptah, you find that his name keeps coming up over and over and over again. And the planet Earth was called Ptah Nun. Okay. And the people, the original inhabitants of the planet, of the Nagaranadu, before we came on land, as we said earlier on, were called the Pataites, or Ptah kind, or the Ptah Gindoid race, or the Hydropataites. There's a lot to take in, but look at the deity Ptah, the opener. Amun Nubi Ra'ak Ptah. Amun Nabab Ra'ay Ach Ptah. Master or keeper of the hidden secrets. He who holds the key or the opener of time. Okay. Or you know him as the ancient of days or old father time. You will find that, I think it's in Daniel chapter 7, I think it's Daniel 7:4 or 7:9. So we're not making up all these terms here. It's a matter of having the ability to marry all the information together. Okay.
Are you full?
Rahubad Samal, excuse me, I just want to step away for a couple of minutes. Would you accept me back?
Go ahead.
Thank you. All right.
So Daniel 4, verse 7.
Yeah, try 7:9. 7:9.
Then came in the magicians, the astrologers, and the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation therefore.
I think I got the wrong one. Let's have a look. Hang on. I can find that again here. I got the wrong one. It could be let's try. No, it's not there. To find it again. Whoops. No, it's in 7. I can't find a quote. There's a quote. It talks about the Ancient of Days in Daniel. Anyway, so I can't remember. It talks about Melchizedek. Have a look again. Oh yeah, 7-9. Oh yeah, sorry. The 7-9 actually that gives a description of the Ancient of Days. Okay, yeah. You read read 7-9 first, please. That's the right one. Yeah, 7-9.
Daniel 7 verse 9.
Yes, please.
Daniel 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Those garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the fur wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Stop there. So this Ancient of Days is actually in reference to Malachi Zadok, or when they call him Old Father Time, that's sort of referring to the Patah. And you see that same description in Revelation chapter 3, Genesis chapter 1, verse 13. Go ahead. The elder at the back.
You have mentioned Daniel 7
Yeah.
verse 9. I'm quite familiar with the wording,
Yeah.
but I missed what you said concerning
Yeah.
that particular.
Yeah. The Ancient of Days is in reference to Malachi Zadok or Melchizedek. Although when it comes to time, that's in reference to the deity Patah. You see.
Okay.
And that's it, yeah. And that same description you find in Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. People tend to think that's Jesus, but it's actually Malachi Zadok. Okay. This Malachi Zadok, you'll find him mentioned throughout your whole Bible. Okay.
Are you saying, sorry,
Go ahead.
are you saying that Melchizedek and the names that you mentioned are all one?
Or one, yeah. Malachi Zadok is really it's a seat. It's a seat. And part of Babylon, he sits in that seat of Melchizedek. It's a being that incarnates from time to time to time to time. So this Malachi Zadok was during the time of Noah, during the time of Abraham, during the time of Moses, during the time of David, during the time of Jesus, and he's here with us at this day and time.
In the form of Malachi.
York, or Malachi Zadok, York, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Samantha. Okay, so we said that warm up is the key to transform information into information. It is matter energy into and from matter energy to energy matter. And the keys, and we said that the way to do that is by way of the thought of these we call the creative forces of will, Huhi, Hika, and Sia. So we're just reading that. And what is first start of Huhi? What is Huhi? Huhi was the utterance or tone, the vibration and pulsation of existence. And that which comes to existence within the sacred breath. Those things that manifest within creation, true growth. Who is that tone from which the creator Ptah calls things into being with Hika and Sia? The original triad of Ptah, so here he's gone back to the tones again here. So there's certain tones, when certain tones are recited, you're activating the forces of Huhi or Hua. And it's got here from so it says, who is that tone from which the creator calls things into being with Hika and Sia, the original triad of Ptah, Hika and Sia. I want to say, who and what is Hika? Hika is an anthropomorphic personification of miracles, magic, and the manipulation of elements and chemicals of nature, which is really alchemy. Sia is a personification of perception, pattern, form. Sorry, personification. Sia, the personification of perception, shape, form, pattern, who work together in Hui with Hika and makes the world of creative things possible. So Hui is the tone along with Hika, which is alchemy, with manipulation of elements and chemicals of nature, and it's got here, and Sia, the personification of perception, shape, form, pattern. So who work together in Hu-He. So these three things is what brings energy into matter and transforms matter into energy. Okay, so these are forces that work with the mental or the mind. Or once you reach that state of elevation, you're utilizing these forces. Okay, these forces of Hu-He, you say Hu-He in religion, this is from the word Hu-He, where they get the word Yahweh or Yahuwah from. So this is where it has its inception. Okay, everything that has its origins back to the Egyptian mystery systems. Everything, and they came and sat at the feet of those venerable masters, those black masters, and learned from them. But we only gave them 3 degrees that locked them into person, places, and things. Okay. So go ahead.
You talk about the relationship between matter and energy and matter. I once thought that I need some clothing which was black, yellow, and white. I thought about it for some time, for some reason, and then I went to a shop in the West End and I found such a sports top with those 3 colors. So I know there is what you think and what you actually receive in the physical can happen. That's a small example.
Yeah, in quantum physics, they call that synchronicity, when you start to align with your higher self. Because people definitely don't need to realize that people say we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. We say we are Ethereans in a physical body or with a physical body. It's like you got a jacket on, you got a jacket on, but the jacket is just the coat or the cloak that you wear. So you are a physical being with a jacket on, not a jacket with a physical body. So we are spiritual beings or Ethereans with a skin suit on, with a jacket on. Okay, and the jacket doesn't belong to us; it belongs to Mother Earth, because the materials that is made of, flesh, blood, bone, etc., that's coming from Mother Earth. See, so we have to give that back. Say something like that.
No, I was just saying, and it can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Got from whence it came, so it just recycled, And the one who actually you made it is now the one who actually made our flesh suit is you, the feminine. But wherever you're breathing, by you breathing in, as you are pregnant and you're breathing in within the air, dust particles, and as you're breathing in, that's what forms the flesh of the human. Okay, that's how it works. See, within your raham, within your womb. Okay, so there's a lot riding on you feminines. So, okay. So what I want to read now. So we talked. Do you know what I can't go through this whole scroll because this is a really powerful scroll to read. Luwapo. Yeah. Let's continue reading. Let's go ahead. Luwapo. Somebody put Ivan. What scroll? Oh, Irving. Yeah, we're reading from the scroll. Luwapo. This is actual facts number 6. Okay. And it's got here 3. Luwapo is all comprehension, recognizing Pa'ut the all. Say Pa'ut the all. We acknowledge Pa'ut is all space, all matter, all time. Absolute, infinite in all directions. Absolute totality, infinite, boundless, and eternal, timeless. This is Pa'ut. Okay. Finite and infinite. Nothing is outside of all. When we say all, we talk about existence. Nothing is outside of all, or nothing is outside of existence. Where would you put it? For all is, was, and always will be. It's got to hear existence. All is all. Everything existing, living and dead, visible and invisible, male and female, good and evil, angelic beings, flesh and spirit. Now, the description religious people give of God as being the omnipotent does not fit that requirement of being all space, all matter, and all time, not if it's asking questions, not if it's looking at things, oh, God created the light, or saw that it was good. Or God doesn't need to do that, because our God will know that, whatever he does will be perfect. It will be utopia. Use that term, let's use that term. It will be utopia. Whatever whatever planet that he produces, it will be in a state of utopia. So with the inhabitants, the original inhabitants of the planet will keep it in that state of utopia. Does that make sense? But we know that there's always cycles. Just like on the planet Earth, we have spring. We have the 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, or they say fall, and we have winter. Now it's like this. Spring is death, we said this before, death into life. That's spring. Summer is life into life. Fall is life into death. And winter is death into death. So once the death cycle occurs, you're no longer in a state of utopia, because things are starting to wane. Does that make sense? And then the cycle starts again, death into life, which is, we say, spring, and life into life. Once you're in that life cycle, you're in the state of utopia. Okay, that's why we say we look at a SMAT circle and you make it into quarters, and on the right side of the circle, we've got the evolutionary and the origination cycle. On the left side of the SMAT circle of space, matter, and time, you have the de-origination and the evolutionary cycle. On the right side of the circle, there is no death, does not exist. On the left side of the circle, death exists. You get that? Okay, so that means that you're no longer in a state of utopia. When the death cycle comes, no longer in a state of utopia. So we can, but not only with the death cycle, other forces, the death forces, disturbs that state of peace or tranquility or bliss, or, as we say, use that term, utopia. But it's all part and parcel of the cycle or the nature of nature. Okay, so everything has the nature, everything happens in circles and cycles. The word we use for cycles is dawarat, cycles in our Lahaj tongue. Okay. Any more questions? Go ahead.
When you mentioned
Next time. Yeah.
the knowledge of the Bible was for a certain period, instead of the last 6,000 years.
That's right.
So therefore, I can't remember exactly what you said about God and the light and so on.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a level of truth for the time period of the spell,
Yeah.
I suppose. Would that be kind of in the right direction?
Yeah, you're in the right direction. The Bible itself was written for a specific group of people, not for the whole world. It's just for the Adamite race, you see. But because other people in the world, be it Negroids or Orientals, whoever, Pakistani, whoever, picks it up, hey, they're the ones that pick it up. So if you want to go by what we wrote for someone else, hey, that's your prerogative. You know what I mean? But it was not for us. It's only, like you said, it's only for a specific period of time. The religious Bible and Quran is only for a specific group of people. And it says that in their Bible and the Quran. Yeah. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 says, and God said, let us make man in our image and after likeness. The word is Adamites, and let them have dominion of the face of the earth. The Bible and Quran wasn't for us. We have our own stuff. And we had our own stuff for millions, own stuff.
Own stuff, okay.
For millions of years. And if the Bible and Quran was for us, there'd be no need for the master teacher to incarnate. Okay, but get the mic, sister.
For the Adamites race, like Adam and Eve, Genesis, when Jesus came, was it for just those people at that time?
No,
To,
because remember with Jesus, he said, I came to my own, but my own received me not. Who is his own? His own was the tribe of Judah. I came to my own received me not. However, those who do receive me, I'll give them the power to become sons of Bain Elohim.
so he came for everyone.
No. He came for his own, the lost sheep of the house of Israel only, which is the tribe of Judah.
At that
At that time, yeah. He come for the whole planet Earth, no.
Yeah.
But only for I come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel only. If you go to people say, chapter 1. Really run to John chapter 1, it's not here. John chapter 1, verse 11 says, he came unto his own, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which is the tribe of Judah, and his own received him not. So he came to his own, but they rejected him. But as many as received him, he's talking about his own, not everyone on the whole planet Earth, to them he gave power to become the sons of God, even to them that believed on his name. Read that again. But as many as received him, those are lost sheep of the house of Israel, to them gave he power to become the sons of God. The word there is Bain Elohim.
Oh, then is it Israel? Is it
The tribe of Judah.
tribe of Judah? Sorry.
Only, not
Not
the whole tribe of Judah or the whole tribe of Israel, because they say 12 tribes, and it came for none of them, only for the lost sheep. He said, only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel only. This is lost sheep, meaning they were scattered, they lost their direction, they didn't have what we call they lost direction, they didn't know the way, tarak. He said, I am the way, the truth.
He's put them on the right road.
Yeah. So I am the way, Taraf, the truth, Hakak al Hakak ad, actual facts, and the life, the Haptwy. No one can come unto the Father but by me. His father was Malachi Zadok. In the Garden of Gethsemane, when he fell on his face and prayed, "Oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass by me. Not of my will, but if thy will be done." He was talking, his father was in actuality Malachi Zadok. You see, wasn't no spook God in Malachi Zadok. And you'll find that mentioned in Hebrews chapter 5, verse 7. That's right. Yeah, that's right. This right knowledge, however, is like the old blood type. It's for everybody to benefit from because it's universal. So everybody and anybody can suck from the wisdom of this master teacher and it will elevate them. You see? So when Jesus said, here it is now, John chapter 1, verse 11, he came unto his own, and his own received him not, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become sons of God, Bain Elohim, he had the power for them to initiate people into the order of Malachi Zadok. Because the God he's referring to here is Malachi Zadok. Okay. Even to them that believe on his name. They never even met him. Some people never even met the master teacher. But they're elevated to degrees based upon not just his works, but his words. Not just his words, but his works. You see, by way of what is written here, it transformed their mindset, their way of thinking. You see, so that was for during that day and time. You see, so in this day and time, we have the master teacher with us. Malachi Zadok is with us once again in the personage of Dr. Malachi Z.K. York. Okay. Okay.
So how does the Hebrew Sorry. How does the Hebrew Israelites who claim or say they are the lost tribes of Israel or something like that?
Well, here it is. They can claim as much as they like because we're now in this different, we're in the hereafter doctrine. So they can stay with that doctrine for as long as they like. But what's happening now is that the 9 ethereal forces are interpenetrating, as we said before, the atmosphere, and people's minds are waking up. That if people want to stay asleep, that's up to them. Because the intelligent ones amongst us cannot awaken the fools.
The intelligent ones can't.
Because why? Because the fools will never give you the opportunity for you to wake them up. They will never see your way. So if you're talking with somebody and you find it's hard to get to them, leave them alone. Because they will win in the end,
They will even drag you down.
Yeah, because no, they won't drag you down. They suck at your energy.
Oh.
They're what you call energy vampires. So, some people are just stuck in their ways, set in their ways.
Yeah.
If you find someone set in their ways, no matter what you say, they're not going to accept it, leave them there. Move on. Because all that happens, you can come out next, and they're going to come out elated, because they just suck at your energy. So that's the most fool. I wrote something down. Let's see if I could find it. I wrote something down the other day.
Makes me think of those who have ears to hear.
Yeah. Oh, that's like was I say giving swine to fools. Try to find something here. What is down the other day? I could find it. Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, something like don't if you expect, as an intelligent person, if you expect a fool to acknowledge your intelligence, that's the ultimate form of stupidity. Let the fools say a fool and give them the impression that they won. You know what I mean? Side with them. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but don't waste your time. And you're propagating out there, you're talking to somebody, you find out they're not getting it. So, okay, so Jesus, you're saying, yeah, okay, thanks, see you soon, and move on to the next guy. That's what you have to do. Because you're breaking down doctrine, Mark, Luke, and John, white knowledge, what this, my overstand, they're not accepting it. Oh, I believe, I thought that, you're wasting your time. Jason, so you believe Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, okay, well done, good for you. So have a nice day. Next, and you go and propagate to the next one. You find they're like that. Yeah, Jesus, okay, next. You keep on looking at the next individual. You see if I can find the intelligent. I always thought that. Then once you can see a spark, like Mike Tyson said, Costamata said he looked for Mike Tyson's trainer. You can see a spark, and once you see a spark, you fan that spark till it gets a flame, and you keep on doing that until it becomes a roaring fire. And look what you produce, Mike Tyson. So that's what you do. You look for the sun, you look for the individual on the street as you're propagating. You see a little spark, and say, right, fan the spark. Give them just a little. Don't give him too much, little bite-sized pieces of the doctrine, and then so we do classes every Sunday, Saturday, whatever it is. We're here every Saturday propagating. That's what you do. Come on this OSM website. You know what I mean? This is how you operate. Yeah. Okay. Haptwy. Wisdom saying is, don't cast pearls to yeah, right about that. Don't cast pearls to swines. Simple as that. The pearls, the jewels, is this right knowledge that you're giving them. I mean, give to somebody who's more worthy of the jewels. You know what I mean? So okay. Hey, we're still on this Rahubat family, Rahubat Samata. But we're still on this what do you call it? This what is this class, isn't it? Nopal. Okay, it's cool. Let's continue reading here. I want to read something for you now. Okay, contact Samantha. See you soon. Hey, this now. This is talking about Wonder Weapon, etc. Let's hear this now. This is from the proof now. The proof, actual fact number 108. The proof. You see that? Right. The proof, page 77. Let's read from verse 453, and it reads, Wunderwap is something you do not just read, you actually shall all feel it physically working on your inside outward. And you know it's for you personally, it's yours. You're transforming now. We said about transforming, what do you say here?
Inside out.
Yeah, the key to transform information into information. Yeah. So it's working with inside of you. This knowledge that you're hearing is working inside of you. So what does people ask the question? So what has WU-SABAT done for you? What has WU-SABAT done for you? And this is how you have to describe it to them. It's something you do not just read. You actually shall all feel it physically working on your inside outward. And you know it's for you. Personally, it's yours. 454. WU-SABAT gives you the power and authority within yourselves that are strong enough to help liberate you from adverse and deceptive forces and make our own people free and equal to each other. There's a scroll the master put out many years ago called Breaking the Spell on Blacks. If you could seek out that scroll, it goes into depth. He just rinses this particular question here. Africans, Nagaru, Negroids, you must take time out to reason for yourself and your well-being, what is duly inscribed in this work. And if you cannot scientifically refute the scientific outformation into information you're reading herein, and you are a reasonable and intelligent person, it is incumbent upon you to accept and adhere to WU-SABAT as a Nawapian and these irrefutable actual facts, and you will, as a sensible and positive person, a reader and also a listener who hears the truth and knows it's true. It's not talking about the fool, it's talking about the intelligent amongst us. You know what I mean? Read that bit again. If you cannot scientifically refute the scientific information, it's got to be able to, anybody who wants to, as you said earlier on, impose upon their belief system, it must be backed up by science. Science, only so much science. Science and scientists have gone a long way, in proving things. As I said before, quantum physics is the scientific rendition, or is quantum physics is religion or spirituality expressed scientifically. That's what quantum physics is. The master teacher said the next level to divinity is that of a quantum existing being. So he's telling us that within the quantum realm there is existence. You follow that? So we look at the atom, go beyond the atom, go into subatomic and beyond the subatomic realm. As you go deeper, there is existence. Or we say the spiritual realm or the etheric realm. Okay? You owe it to yourself and those you love, and those you love owe you consideration for your concern. Let's go here. I'll continue reading. This is 457. Intelligence is Rahan. Intelligence, Miss Patia, Rahan. Intelligence recognizes correct outformation to information when it sees it, hears it, or reasons it out, done by someone else who possesses the right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding, which is sound right reasoning, the true and right understanding about one's self and kind. If they are unintelligent or if they are a fool, no matter what you say, they're not going to recognize it. So don't waste your breath. Do some deep breathing to yourself instead. 458. By seeking and searching for confirmations, the signs of intelligence are finding and recognizing truth from fictions, faith from faith, and then using it wisely. Remember earlier on we said about the 9 worthy quests? Remember that? Okay, I don't need to say that again. 459. I, Pana Babyanan, the master Yanun, am naturally inspired, qualified, and authorized by Pa Nazaru and the Anunnaki, both under Nupu, the original creators in Fatar, natural nature. Pa Marazaku, the Riskians, to find the liberation powers and transcribe them in the many works I have done from 1962 AD and circulate them so they can do indeed what is supposed to do, what is supposed to do, transform you back from humanoids to deities, pure intelligence, Mokwan beings with sound, Nawapic, right, actual facts, reason, the way, Patarok, Nawapo, our way of life, our culture, our science, Wu Nawap. Now, what's about to say here? So it's got here. It's got here. I am naturally inspired, qualified, and authorized by Panadaru and Anunnaki, both under Nupu, because Nupu is the science of the culture. Hear that? So Wu Nawap is the culture. Nupu are the people, or Nwapo or Monwapo are the people, and Nupu is the science of Wu Nawap. These are terms and terminologies that we gave of ourselves by ourselves. Okay, and Nupu, that ties into the stuff of the hieroglyphs. When you see that's another class in itself. There's a lot within this. Let's go here. Let's go here. I Panababyanana. Okay, continue reading this way. Reading this. 460. Marazaku Riskians. Marazaku, the Riskians, are the original creators of this one Wahu Makwan universe and the original persons, Bushmen, places, earth, and things provision. It is from them when you got, we say the Bushmen talk about the Sans people, and we say when you go back from the Sans people, you get the original Pataites or Patakidoid race or the Patakite or the Hydropygmies or the Hydropataites. Okay, so you're going back, it's the Riskians who what's the word here? who are our heavenly parents. The Riskians are our heavenly parents. They're the ones who constructed this planet for us, and they're the ones who made the provisions on this planet. And the providers, we know, is the word res or the Riskians. Okay, from the place of provision, from the galaxy Ilion. Okay, because the power sources of Wu Nawap, Nupu, are the sun of the cosmos, also called the Sabatians, star children, the true Kharadu, children of the sun, Mennonite children who live by our own, the Sabatians, star children, the Jew children of the sun, Mennonite children who live by our own canon rules. So not in Wusabat, it's not about doing anything and everything. We do have our own rules that keeps us in line with the forces of natural nature, or as ontologists. I, Panababyananden, am, by dictates of Nupu, uses reasonability as well as evidence, examples and comparisons in natural nature and unnatural to show and prove statements and points given in the Wunawap. And I am obligated and dedicated to revealing the truth beyond any doubt that will liberate my children from adverse forces, etc., etc., etc. Drop to 462. A transformation inside out and outside in. Matter, energy to energy, matter. That's the transformation. For Pa Mongaru Salal, the Negro race. Shayanat, things about strange and alien cultures and religious beliefs of other humanoid Makwan or beings. Goes on to say, yeah. Okay, so we'll stop there. Any questions thus far? I know I've gave you all a lot there. So Any questions? No questions?
Okay, it's question. There's always questions, but nothing's coming forth in this time.
So, Mark, can we go through some of the questions on Zoom then?
Oh yeah, sure, please.
Yeah, sure.
Anytime. When you're ready, if you could read out first, please, Samantha.
Sure. Let's go back a bit. Greetings, everyone. I have a question. How can we increase our vibration through prayer? What type of sound increases our frequency? Why are they blocking the sun? That's Bruno.
Okay. The way, in terms of prayer, the way I would advocate is a lot of it stems from the vowel signs. Really, it's only 3 vowels, A, E, O. That's how they say it in English, A, E, O. Because this is common in most languages on the planet. So the way to pronounce it would be A, E, U. A, E, U. So you would chant that. A, E, U. You breathe in through the nose, push the stomach out. A, E, U. You breathe in. A, E, U. Keep on practicing that. Breathe in. Another tone to use is the om tone. Not the So it'd be You breathe in. I, E, O. The om tone. Now, if you there's a tone called the om tone, the ein tone, and you do it like this. Breathe in. Now, if you keep on doing that for a while, you'll find the resonance you feel like a tingling sensation at your ears. That's the right feeling to experience. You'll feel that. But the I, E, U and the R, U, the om tone, keep on practicing that, and that will help to regulate or recalibrate your voice box and will start to resonate with the speech sense, well, the whole body. Say the whole body in general. Yeah, the whole body. Practice that. So when we are chanting in our own Lahaj chant, you hear it. Let's say Anuki Javif Pa Shugem Pa Pau Ayu O Kala Shu Kaun Javif Nia Ayu A-E-O. So you want to know the correct way to chant? Start with them 3 letters, A-E-O and the A-O-M, the om tone. Okay, and all your chants should be based upon those tones. Okay? Another, as I said last time, another exercise of practice to do. Still chanting that. Fill the bath up, as we said before. Put your ears under the water and chant those tones with your ears under the water, and you'll hear a different resonance. Actually, the resonance will be exponential because water is a transceiver. It transmits and it receives tones, frequencies, and vibrations because water is alive. Okay, and when you do that, that alone will also help recalibrate your tone. Just by putting your ears underwater, you're chanting in tones. Once you get that, you chant in any chant you do, you'll feel it. It's about feeling. You feel it, you feel your body vibrate. You could do it in a glass of water. You know what I mean? as much as possible, and as much as possible. When you're walking down the street, you're driving up others, breathe in. A lot's got to do with the breathing as well. The breathing is because it warms up the brain. Go ahead, Samuel.
With the exercise when you're underwater, when your ears are under the water, do you open your mouth or leave your mouth closed?
Oh, yeah, just your ears is under the water.
Or just your ears?
Yeah, so you just say, yeah.
And your mouth is out.
Yeah, your mouth is out. You're drowning yourself in the bath, innit? We stand. Haptwy said he drowned in the bath and he's in the shower. Oh, okay. You get done for murder, innit? The foolishly said, suicide cult, this, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So, so do that. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, what works. You know what I mean? So, anytime you hear that.
We've got some more, Zamal.
Oh, go ahead, Samantha, please.
Okay, it's trauma to triumph. How do tarot readers get their messages from? Sometimes it resonates and comes true.
Tarot readers, yeah, they get that. They have, without a doubt, they have links to their ancestors. They have links to their ancestors, so they are able to interpret by way of what they read on the tarot cards. They're able to interpret that. They get help. Yeah, they get help from their ancestors. Certain people are born with those qualities. See, so yeah, so that's where they get that from. In our orders, you tend to find that the feminines are the ones who will be granted, or the master said they're the ones that we call them in our culture, we call them oracles. The temples are called the Mamisi temples. So they are the ones who would they're the ones who people would go to for guidance, so yeah, so that's again there. So go back to the question. Tarot readers are getting their from their ancestors, from their spiritual forces. So, be it in the garden, 6 ether or 9 ether, that's where they're getting them from. Okay.
Questionnaire Viper 9. I'd like to know about the single Ankh and double Ankh. We use it here in Guyana. Thanks, Ashok.
Okay, that's quite simple. So the Ankh is the key to eternal life, or the first resurrection. When we say the first resurrection, what we mean is from the year 1970 AD to the year 2000, when the master came to impart, before in the 60s, the master came to impart this right knowledge. But he said that he found that the people at the time weren't ready for that. They wanted to be spooked out. Kept asking questions about the religion of Abrahamism. So he knew that the master has said that he knew he had 30 years from 1970 to the year 2000 AD to impart this religion, the religion of Abrahamism, onto the people. So that was the first resurrection, or the Ankh. The second resurrection is from the year 2000 up until the year extended up to year, I think it's 2040. This is the second. This is the second resurrection, or the Haptwy. So right now we're in the second resurrection period. Okay, we call it the hereafter. So this is the symbolism that that is one of our Ramazat. That's what it symbolizes. The two Ankh, or the double Haptwy. There's a lot of symbolism behind the Ankh in itself, but just to make it really simple, yeah, the Ankh, just the one level of the Ankh is representative of the first resurrection, 1970 to year 2000 AD, and the Haptwy is from the year 2000 AD until the year 2040. That's when the ships will come and depart, never to return. Okay.
Bruno, you've got your hand up. Did you want to ask a question?
So Bruno, go ahead.
Greetings, everyone. This is my first class. I saw a video of your guys having a discussion with a Muslim, an atheist, and a Christian, and I resonated with all the information. This is why I joined. I wanted to ask something that has been on my head. since a few years ago. Um, I'm not a person that has the custom of making use of substances, but I ever since I was a kid, I was very curious. And when I was 20 years, I'm 26 now. When I was 20 years, and this was only the only time I had this experience, I took psilocybin, which is known as mushrooms, because I was watching a documentary and I was curious and I done it by myself. And my first thought was that I needed to lay down. And as soon as I did, I had this feeling of what we known as something that is astral projection. I saw myself leaving my physical body and going up. I could see the houses of my neighbors. I don't know if this is just a vision, if it was my imagination or hallucination, which is why I'm asking. I start going up, going up, going up, and then I reached a point. Then I went to a place that I was on a table with a lot of people, and I could feel some type of love that I cannot explain. And they were talking to me as if we're all eating together. And I was fully conscious and aware of what was happening because I just couldn't like control, but it wasn't like a dream because I was aware. And all these people started to talk to me in a language that I don't understand. And I answered those people in this same language. And I remember at the same time that I was talking with these people, I was asking myself internally, how was I able to speak this language and answer them because I didn't understood nothing. So I went, and ever since that day, I never had this type of experience again because, as I mentioned, I don't use these substances. So I just wanted to know what is like this type of experience. Is it an hallucination? Is it an actual astral projection? That's my question. I don't know if it's off topics, if we can make personal questions, because as I mentioned, this is my first class and I don't want to be inconvenient in the same way. So basically, that's it.
Right, that's thanks for that description as well. Yes, when we, do you say that you took something to make you achieve that state?
Yes, it was a mushroom.
A mushroom, yeah. You see, what the Master says about that is that we could take certain substances that alters our perception, and because the danger of that is that there are there are doorways. I'm trying to find the right words to use. There are doorways that we can open up by taking certain substances, and there are beings on the other side who are there, agreeable and disagreeable beings. They can have an influence over us. Now, in your case, I'm going to give an example of the master. In his case, he said that when he wasn't under any substance, when he go through initiation, when the beings came to him and they touched him, he started speaking Riskian. Then it happened more than once. He said there's a point whereby the beings started speaking Riskian. They touched him, he started speaking Riskian, and everything came flooding back. So outside with as we said earlier on, I don't know if you were here, we said that there's a gland inside of us, or that we used to have inside of us called the barotheric gland, and that gland gave us random access to the divine, and also gives us the ability to receive 76 trillion years of knowledge. And the master says that himself, he could speak he's what you call a polyglot, multilingualist, and speak many, many different languages. when people take substances, such as mushrooms, or magic mushrooms or whatever, or other ayahuasca or these different substances, when they take these substances, it opens them up to disagreeable forces as well as agreeable forces. That's why it's necessary to have a spiritual master in your presence when you want to do certain practices. The master said it like this: you are your own master, but you need a spiritual master to help guide you through these doorways. And that happens by way of initiations. So in your case, what happened was, like you said, that based upon your description, you were speaking a language that you wasn't conscious of, let's put it like that. And you said it only happened the once. What I do advocate is studying Wu-Nawab, because the master said there are doors that a person can open up and cannot be closed. But Wu-Nawab, study Wu-Nawab, come into the doctrine of Wu-Nawab, WU-SABAT, and it will be your means of protection. And the protection that you will receive will be by way of your ancestors or your relatives that has crossed over to the higher realms. So I hope that helps them out. We cannot answer every individual's specific experiences, because that's the experience that you experience, and it's something that you have to reason out for yourself. You see, so I hope that helps them out. Bruno.
Thank you. It did, and I also wanted to ask, since we are Africans, what is the way that we can do to achieve higher frequencies within our body when we are meditating?
Okay, yeah. As we said, to achieve higher frequencies, is the doctrine in itself will go a long way towards that, towards you in your journey for you to receive higher frequencies. In order for you or for anybody to receive higher frequencies, your body has to be calibrated. And this doctrine of Wu-Nawab, Wu-SABAT, is that way, or we say Patarok, the way to help your body to vibrate on those higher frequencies. And the chanting, we just did the I-U chant, and the chants, many chants that we've got here, will help you achieve that. Another practice to do will be, after you're chanting, even as the I-U or the Om tone, just stay in silence and just listen and listen and listen. Listen. When we say listen, we mean listen to the silence without the internal dialogue going on in your head. Because we have an internal dialogue going in our head.
Sure.
Listen to that internal dialogue and it will stop. When it stops, you are activating a portion of the brain called the anterior prefrontal cortex of the brain. That's what you're activating. And that silence is what you want to focus your attention on, the silence. Try aim for about 30 seconds because that is how the mind is. The mind does not like to be observed. And in quantum physics, they call that the observer effect. Because once the mind is observed, a shift occurs. And the subatomic particles change its configuration just by observation. And that they call that they found that out by an experiment they called the double slit experiment. Quantum physicists, they were shooting electrons or protons, and they realized that upon observation, there was a alteration in the pattern, the word they use. But anyway, but it's observation, by observing your thoughts, or the observing that internal dialogue will create a shift in your perception or your consciousness. But if you hold it for about 30 seconds, don't force it, that goes a long way to you achieving what they call super consciousness or metacognition. Okay?
Is this in the breath book as well?
The breath book.
Has there been any of that?
You may you've breathing it, yeah, you might find it in the breath scroll. The breath scroll is also very good, but a lot of it got to do with your breathing as well. You see, the reason why we always talk about breathing is because with breathing, you are heating up the neurons, the brain cells. We call it the brain newts. That's the term we call it. You see, it heats up up to a certain temperature. By heating up up to a certain temperature, the synapses, the communication network between one neuron and the other increases. You see, so a lot of it got to do with the breathing. So, but that exercise with the chanting and observing your thoughts goes a long, long way. You'll see, you become in alignment with your higher self. You see, so when they talk about concentration or meditation, they never tell you, never mention that. Focus on the internal dialogue in your head, and there's a moment of silence. In that silence is another dimension. Okay, it's another dimension, and within that dimension there are higher beings. Okay, that will help you by way of will help you by way of outspiration into inspiration. And the breathing is inspiration into outspiration. Or let's put it like this, in WU-SABAT, we say matter, energy, energy, matter. You're transforming matter into energy and energy into matter, or information into information into information. So it's the simple exercises that make the deepest grooves. You see, there's a lot going on in there. Your intelligence will start to increase. Okay. Go ahead. Let's say AEO. AEO, but we pronounce it REU. REU. Yeah.
And then the other one was
OM. AUM or RU. Okay. So AEO. Okay. AEO. Yeah. Another one is AUM. AUM. So it would be the AEO would be REU, but you chant that REU, and the OM would be AUM. You hear the don't say M, you say or you say yeah. Yeah, let's leave it like that. Okay. The mind, Asia says, yeah, the mind will always try to take over, but you have to control it. Yeah, you're 100% right. The way to control it is not to fight it. When you find that, because once you hear the voices start to come back, just regroup again. Just regroup again and regroup again and regroup again, and yeah, this thing called synchronicity starts to increase. That's the term they use, synchronicity. Okay. Is there Bruno once again? I hope that helped, Bruno.
One last question. And by the way, sorry for my English. English is not my main language. Where I come from, we speak Portuguese, so I'm trying to I'm putting a lot of effort to try to put the correct words so you can understand. This is my last question. You already explained the difference between what we humans call God and what we should call the all, because all is the existence. But where I came from, unfortunately, I don't speak my native language, so I have difficult to understand some information. But we have this entity that people call Nzambi, and I would like to know if Nzambi, what do they refer Nzambi has to? If it's the nature itself, if it's the sun, if it's the all. Probably you all have heard of this expression, but yeah.
I haven't heard of that terminology before, Samal, so I can't really answer that question. But what we can say is that when we say the all or all existence, we use the term parot, or we use the term pa kale makwana, the omniverse. And as it says, we read earlier on, you can't add to all, which is existence, and you can't take away from all existence, for where you get it or put it. All that exists within all. The all is within all. So we say we have a nomos, a prayer or a chant. We say Partagyuk, the affirmation. We say Anuki Jo, I'm in the Anuki Jo with Pa Ashok and Pa, I'm in the divine love of the all, and all love is in me. I'm a part of the all, and the all is a part of me. So we say I'm a part of the all, and the all is a part of me. What we're actually saying is, if you look at your human body as a vessel and it's dipped into the pool of water, the component of everything that's in the water is in the cup or is in you. So the only difference is that you're not. Yeah, so you got a cup of water. Look at the cup as the physical body. The cup's empty. Dip it into all, and or that ocean of water. Everything that's in the ocean of water is in that cup. So you get the analogy. So the cup now is that cup can be 9 ether, 7, 8 ether, 7 ether, 6 ether, 5 ether, or even ghost ether. Meaning that the properties that constitute that cup and what's inside of that cup has limitations if it's not 9 ether, because 9 ether is all existing. All existing. You get me? So as Negroids, we are all existing. We are composed of all. That's what I can say.
But can we downgrade our physical bodies to 6 ether?
Yeah.
And then obviously we build it back up.
Yeah.
With the right practices and knowledge.
That's right. Yeah, we can downgrade when we say we can downgrade
or block this 9 ether.
Yeah, we can downgrade to a 6 ether being in black skin by way of our mind, by way of our thinking, by way of our actions, by how we think and how we act, can downgrade our etheric composition from 9 ether to 6 ether. We will have in black skin as a 9 ether being, we can have a 6 ether mind, mentality, knowingly or unknowingly. What the master's here to do is to raise us all back up. Whether we have a 9 ether mind or a 6 ether mind, we can all be raised up. Okay, so and even a 6 ether being can also sup from the wisdom of 9 knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, you get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, and remember that it is the femi 6, the corpuside female, can elevate to a 9 ether being in white skin. if she mixes with a Nagaru male, with a Nagaru male,
Yeah.
okay, she can elevate to a nine ether in white
Natural
skin.
state.
Yeah,
In her white 6 ether skin.
skin with 6 ether
She can
skin.
still have the spermatodes, all of that from the Nagaru.
Yeah, his essence.
His essence.
Yeah.
And then if she's creates a black child, there has to be some sort of black chemical that will go into her. 'Cause it's Italian child as well.
Yeah. So the child becomes mulatto. I mean, however, the thing is that the offspring will now have conflicting genes within inside of them. So there's a battle going on. But that's the only way the Caucasus they could survive on the planet, because they are Caucasus along with the Orientals, they are below the replacement levels for survival.
Yeah.
You know that they
Not
die now.
replenishing, they're not having babies.
Yeah, they below the replacement level. So hey, that's natural nature. Hope that helped Bruno. And
Samuel?
go ahead, Samantha. It's we run out of time now.
Yeah, there's a few more.
Okay,
So
let's go.
there's brown sugar. Could you explain the word nub?
How do you spell that?
N-U-B.
Noob.
Yeah, or noob, sorry.
Noob. Noob. Yeah, the word noob. The word noob. The noob is a word we use, means before the light. From that word noob, you have nuwabu or nuwapu. So the word noob means before the light. That's what it basically means, noob. Yeah.
Is it the darkness before the light or time and space before the light?
Oh, blackness. Blackness, meaning before the light. Okay. Supreme balancement in actuality. Supreme. When we say darkness, we're talking about a state of darkness. But when we say before the light, we're talking about supreme balancement, black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black. Yeah. Noob pertains to the to black. Black is that state of supreme balancement. Noob. And from the word noob, we get the word gold or nabat. Or napat. Yeah. So it's lot. Yeah. So it means before the light. Okay.
Amal, did you want to do the last two? Well, we can take last two more if you want.
Okay, last two more.
All right, okay.
The landlord's he's standing patiently. Go ahead. Last two.
Tony, Tony says, Rahubat Muisa, how can WU-SABAT counteract their laws on sovereignty, etymology, fake treaties, de facto, as they have created ownership on citizens by birth certificate in the West, etc.?
Okay, that's a really simple question. The thing is that WU-SABAT, Wunawap, is actually apart from being a culture, it's a nation, an indigenous nation. So we have the right to set up our own nation. And in order to have a nation, you need a name, a language, and a land. The most important thing is the land. So because set up our own nation, our own tribal people, and we have our own nation, we have our own cannons, we have everything, and the land is in progression as we speak. So we are an indigenous nation, sovereign as well. As long as you are under his laws, his rules, Jacob's rules and regulation, we are subjected to the landlord and his Jacob's rules and regulations. So the answer to that, Zamal, is quite simple. We can set up we set up our own, and we live for of and by each other. We have our own canons. We have all these things in place. All we need to do is execute them. Okay. We had it on. Anyway, Gus, another story.
The last one is from Zamalta Nasima. Rahubat, may I ask a question? How do you find out if you are 9 ether? What are the 9 races of Natharu?
Oh wow, that's of Nagaru. Of Nagaru or Natharu? Nagaru.
Natharu.
Oh, the 9 Natharu. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know the exact names of them, but as a 9-ether being, first of all, it's you gotta be a negroid, an agar nadu, a negroid. However, we have different shades. Okay, 9-ether, pure 9-ether beings. A lot of it got to do with our your hair texture is an important factor because only 9-ether beings have woolly hair. Okay, we have amongst us, we have those who have 9-ether type kingly hair, those of 8-ether, and those of 7-ether. The 6-ether hair are those it's not representative of 9-ether beings. The reason why we say we use the word hair, we make references to the hair, because of the sun heat genes that's within our solar plexus. The more heat you have within your body, the tighter the curls of your hair. Okay, representative of the heat given off by way of the sun. As the master teacher puts it, we have beings who are the 6-ether beings or the Caucasians. They have lesser sun heat genes inside of them than 9-ether beings. We have sun heat genes. The master refers to them as having. They have a what we call a lunar plex. We have what's called a solar plex. So everybody has a yeah. So in order to, the question is, how do you know you are a 9-ether being? Is by way of your hair texture. We have different shades of skin. The darker your skin pertains to the amount of melanin that's within the melanite cells, or that's within the melanin cells. Okay, so we have different shades within the race. Pertaining to skin complexion and your hair texture. We have 9-ether. The Nagara Nadu amongst us have 9-ether hair, 8-ether hair, and 7-ether hair. And then those of us who mix in, we then have between 7 and 6-ether hair. So your hair texture is one. It's a factor, and skin complexion. Well, the skin complexion, I said we have different types of different skin complexions, different hues, as we should say. Okay, so I hope that helped. Good question, though. And also the mind, you cannot forget the mind as well, because they have got a 9-ether mindset, also goes a long way as well. Okay, so I hope that helped. Family, run out of time. But once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming to class. Till next week, so you remember, Moisar, you're the ones who make the class, and each one teach one. Remember, you're the OSM webs channel on Telegram every Saturday from 7 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. We are on Clubhouse, Zoom, and here at Nashat, 101 Church Street, Croydon. So let's say Wadu, farewell, Akhruz, give and take care until the next time. Wadu.